Please, sir, going into internet and seeing lots of posts about coronavirus, would want to know what coronavirus is all about.
If something has become so popular and everybody's talking about it, somehow as people are talking about it, they're also being afraid of getting infected. Coronavirus, like the name Corona, is a virus that has a crown around its head, and that's what gave it the name Corona, which is in Greek is a crown. So that's what differentiates from other viruses. It is a family of rhinoviruses, and they come from animal kingdom to infect man. So they're called zoonosis. Zoonosis means the viruses that live in animals, but through contact in whatever form, they now infect man, because they are not originally in men. They come from outside, from animals, either through ingestion of poorly cooked bush meat and other forms of animal meat, or other forms of contact that make man to get infected, and then through that process, men can now infect others. So now it has come into humans. It's now a human disease, although it was really an animal disease. So that's why it's called zoonosis, and also it's a virus, meaning that viruses are this smallest minute infective agent that can cause disease in men. And because they are not bacteria, they are not responsive to antibiotics. That's why cases of viruses are always difficult to treat. That's also emphasized on prevention, which is better than cure.
Yes. Okay, so let me cause in where you said contact. Does it mean that this coronavirus can be contacted through sex, or probably touching and any other form of having contact with?
Is an infection which can be transmitted through contact. And being a new virus, a lot of work, study is still ongoing. And as at the moment, what is common, what is known about it, is that it's transmitted through droplet, aerosol transmission, through talking, through sneezing, is airborne. The carrier sneezes or talks in public, and then through that it releases those agents in air which are carried in air through droplet, because as you are talking, vapor, some saliva and all that comes out from everybody's mouth. So by the time you now sneeze, they come out in millions. And that's why the person who is sneezing, who is sick, should cover the mouth and nose, usually with sanitary, towel or tissue that can be disposed, not even handkerchief, not that after you put in your pocket. Something you should use and dispose. But because of economic reasons, people use handkerchief, use and put it. So the point is that even if one gets or supposed to stop it, you can carry it in your pocket and still use it to transmit all that. But the point is that if you sneeze or cough without covering it, so it can release in the air. Anybody around you who is very close can inhale it, or maybe drops in any of this fossil, anything you can handle, articles, tissue on paper, table, anything, or phone. If it drops there, you pick it, and then you may be contracting it. And if on your palm, which you have taken a handshake with the person, or you have touched it, the person has touched, and if that virus is in that droplet or in that material the person has touched, the person who is now the new person touching it and then either rubbing in your hand or putting the nose or into the mouth or some close, the person cannot inhale that agent, that virus.
Automatically.
Yes, because it's a very, it's what is called affinity. It's a virulent, it's a very active, very dangerous, and something that is spread like wildfire. So you see that the activity is very high. So the moment there's contact, instead of getting infected is there. So that's why you're advised not to rub your face, touch your nose, touch your mouth, your palm, without washing it. That's why they emphasize regular hand washing with alcohol-based soap or liquid or sanitizers, as now try to promote. So the possibility of you getting it will be reduced, because you are being hygienically conscious, doing what you're supposed to do. So you don't infect yourself, also you don't infect people around, because you can take from your office and go to your house. You understand? And it has this incubation period of some days. That's why, having visited a highly infectious area or having contact with people who has got the disease, you are supposed to be off. Or say, now I talk about quarantine. Those who have been infected, if you have contact with people who has had it, you are supposed to stay off work, stay off and isolate yourself for some time to see if you develop those flu-like symptoms that will be suspicious of the virus. Or within that period, you will not be advised to go for testing. And then, because we are not, being an African nation, we are a little backward. So in terms of one being conscious, the possibility of one infecting a lot of people is there. And because of our own kind of lifestyle, we are too familiar, we keep shaking hands, keep interacting and all that. So if one gets it and not being conscious, it can infect a lot of people. So that is why everybody is advised to be conscious, to be a little more hygienic, wash your hand as regular as possible, and not to rub your hand on your face. So if you're going to clean your face, use something you can dispose. But wash hand each time you shake somebody. Wash hand each time you have any transaction. Wash hand as many times as possible. And usually with running water and antiseptic soap or alcohol-based soap or anything. If you have sanitizer or please, it's not very expensive. Those who cannot afford it. But anything you have, make do with it.
Okay, outside being hygienically conscious, depending on our weather and our environment, does it really mean that I heard that it came from China? Does the environment have anything to do with the bigger outbreak of this deadly disease?
Even in China, you have summer, winter. It's not like cold all the time. That this virus can survive in all temperatures, as it's been proven now. It used to be a myth that people say in hot tropical area it was not. But you've had cases in Nigeria now. You understand? So that proves their analogy or their theory wrong, that it's not surviving in Nigeria. The point is that we've been lucky all this while that it has not come. Now it is coming. To say those who carry that have come here, they have been confirmed to be positive, and it's assumed that as it is, it's staying in Nigeria now, it's going to survive here. But how do you prevent it from spreading to more people and let it not take a root and become a Nigerian disease now? It's by quarantining and making sure those who are already down with the disease to be separate from other people, treated, and they see if when they get well or even if they die, more people don't get infected. So as you nip it in the bud, as you do the best you can to make sure that it's contained, you may not have more spread. That's why the government has tried to close borders, to aid traffic, because even those who are coming from outside, reduce the influx of people from outside, and then see if, as we are in Nigeria, let not more people coming, and even the ones you have seen are coming from outside, it's not coming from here. First person was Italian, another people came from US, another people came from Europe. So it's like people come from us. So as the government is trying to shut down borders, that's a good move to make sure more people are not getting that disease.
Okay, sir. how long does this disease live? Like, you know, we have microorganisms, they can die at any moment, just like we were taught then in school. So how long does this disease live? Does it live for a very long time? Or if you get infected now, like how many hours do you have to live before you die?
Yeah, most people, it's not even that it's infected dies.
Okay.
Those cases of death that have been recorded are those that have had other diseases, those who are already sick,
Okay.
those who have lowered immunity, those who have other problems that is not immediately caused, I mean the death is not usually caused by the coronavirus, but because somebody's immunity is already low, that virus coming in has complicated the person and now becomes more serious.
Okay.
That's why, because at the moment there's no drug for that. So if somebody is taking a treatment or having a sickness that hasn't got a medicine, and the person is also sick from other conditions, so the chances of surviving from this virulent, very aggressive new virus called corona becomes a little difficult. So it reduces the person's immunity more and makes the person, because it attacks the lung field. The person has flu-like symptoms, fever, cold, catarrh, cough, weakness, difficulty in breathing. And most people, because of that attack of difficulty in breathing, find it difficult before the lungs will collapse.
Okay, does it really mean that anyone
It's
has...
a respiratory disease.
Okay. So
Yeah,
what
that's
of
the
the
long
patient
field.
who is asthmatic?
That's what the thing that makes it worse for them. And makes it worse for those who are also sick from other conditions.
Okay.
Diabetics, hypertensive patients, those who are already having some form of sickness. So the person is already undergoing some challenge. This one now comes an additional burden. So their survival rate is a little lower than those who are already. So people survive it, but people also die. But I think that those who die, more of them are those who are already sick. So that not everybody who gets that disease dies. So there are still people who survive. But the main thing is that since there is no known medicine that treats it, so the symptomatic treatment, bed rest, isolation, encouragement, all those things. The person of food that is lost. Then if somebody is now having a respiratory challenge, of which can lead to respiratory failure or kidney failure, all that, if the person is those things are being arrested, kept in a very conditioned environment, the chance of survival is high. But if somebody does not know or goes to the hospital late, now that disease has taken some root that affects the person's immunity so much. So even when the person gets to the hospital, the disease of the person dying is there because there's no medicine that kills that virus. Just to tell that viruses are very difficult. For example, HIV hasn't got medicine. Hepatitis B hasn't got medicine. Most viruses, even the common flu, they don't have medicine, they don't have drugs. So viruses are difficult to treat. So when people now have this assumption, once you get infected, you get treated. There's no medicine for it. So that's why you use symptomatic and then other measures, being the doctor will be the best job. That's why you have to go to isolation center to avoid spreading to other people, because as many people get it, that's the more the number that will die.
That's true.
So the advice is reduce public appearance. That's what the government is saying. You don't go to, if you are sick, isolate yourself. That is self-quarantine. Now, if you have flu-like symptoms, you understand?
Yeah.
Like hay fever, cough, sneezing, runny nose, catarrh, you are supposed to isolate yourself. If you are coughing or sneezing, use something to cover your nose and mouth so you don't spray it out to the environment so that people don't get it. So use alcohol base to wash your hands, and then if you have antibiotics, to take your bath or something, do. Use hand sanitizer as much as you can. But because there's no treatment, government is doing everything in its power to contain it, to make sure, even for the fact that people shouldn't even panic. A lot of Nigerians are worried, is looking at it as like Ebola, that once you get it, it's death sentence. It's not as that, it's not as bad as that, but because it has a high death rate, there's no medicine. So people who get it may not even know they have anything like that. Yes, unless you go tested. It looks like flu, it looks like normal upper tract infection. But by the time you now start having respiratory failure, which doesn't happen in other ones, you now know that something more serious. And by the time the person is tested and says it's positive, anybody that has come in contact with that person becomes a suspect. Exactly. Becomes like you are a case that can also spread to others. So the important thing is that one should stay safe. Do not go to crowded environments. Stay isolated as much as possible. If you have contact with anybody, let it be minimal. And as much as you contact, wash your hands, and then so you don't rub it on your body, don't take it to your house to touch your children or something. So at the end of the day, all we are trying to do is to see if it's possible to contain as much as we can.
Hello viewers, you've heard about the symptoms of coronavirus, measures you can take to stay safe, don't go to a crowded environment, always try to sanitize yourself, wash your hands, and always stay in a very good environment. Thank you very much for watching.